Okay people, here we go again with another week of French camp.
Ready?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Your actions will speak much louder than what you say.
So many people, so many laws, so many people around here who are aware about what's going on.
Love is 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 love. Cannot be killed or swept aside. And fill the world with music, love, and pride.
I wanted to start with that relatively short film because it really encompasses and shows the uniqueness of YouTube as a platform. So it's something that I think we can all relate to. We can all find elements of content that are interesting to us. It's got funny films that we surprise people actually would upload and create. It has news, it has sport, it has music, it has those amazing moments in history that we want to relive and that will stay with us forever. Now, there's two big changes, I would say transformations happening at the same time today that we can see with video content online. The first one is we've been experiencing a huge change from desktop to mobile in all areas, and it's come to video as well. So YouTube is a mobile platform today. Most of our content is actually viewed via the mobile phone, which has pretty big implications. The second element is that what you might hear from a lot of media outlets is the big change in the way we distribute video content today. And you'll hear a lot about big broadcast companies putting their content online, which is great, it's extremely important. But there's a second transformation happening, which we believe is even more important, and that's happening on YouTube. And that is a very new type of content creator, a new type of content producer that's on the platform and is creating content for the future, for us today, but also for us tomorrow, probably for our children and those that are not even yet watching or consuming the platform. I obviously wanted to start with YouTube because we are going to be talking a lot about YouTube today, and the topic that I have, I think plays really well into the presentation both from Henry and from Maria, talking about the evolution and the digitalization and the transformation within digital, the insights that we can use, which is amazing. But there's one element that we have, and we believe that is unique to anything else, and that is we have intent on this platform. So we're going to talk a lot about intent and how that drives attention in this time when we all have limited attention, not span, but just limited attention, especially to ads. Now, before I get into the deep of this, I wanted to ask you all a question before I show you another video. Who here runs? Who is a runner? Who says themselves as a runner? I'm a runner. Not that many? Please keep your hand up. Who thinks that they actually run, not professionally, but semi-professionally? Who does a 10K run below 50 minutes? Any people? Great. Below 45? Oh wow. Below 40? Nope. So I did my personal best 10K on Sunday, which was an amazing event for me, 45:32 according to the official time. And I came down from 6 years ago, I was at 58. So a really big change for me. 6 months ago, I was basically a minute slower. And in a month, I'm running again, and my plan is to go below 45. My trainer is telling me I should go for 43. I don't think that's possible. But I want to show you a different challenge that we're facing in the running world, if you're interested. And it happened actually this year. It's a very interesting case. Take a look at the video.
Breaking the 2-hour marathon barrier is impossible. Everyone knows that. History knows it. Science knows it. Anyone in their right mind knows it. It's crazy. Nobody can run that fast for that long. So, we're doing it.
So Breaking 2 is an amazing project. Obviously the goal is to actually break the 2-hour barrier in the marathon, which the current world record is at 2:37, something like this. It's never been done before, and you can actually see what the result was because they did actually the race, and you can check this on YouTube, obviously. This is from YouTube. But I showed you this because this is actually technology at work. So the one thing that you might have noticed is that the runners still run the same way. So they still put one foot in front of the other, and that's how we run. But the technology has changed dramatically. So they built new shoes for those runners. Very different construction and also very different shape, you might have noticed. They actually went on a Formula 1 course in Monza so that it's totally flat and that there is very little wind. They took the best possible atmospheric conditions to be able to achieve this result, or potentially achieve this result. And they also had a very different drafting strategy. So basically the runners, there were 3 of them, had 6, I believe, it was pacemakers who were running in front of them in a diamond shape, which made the wind drag very different traditionally in how we would do this. Now 2 things happened here. One is, you have to check the result, but they tried to go for the 2 hours. 2 is they learned how to actually improve running and the technology behind running for the future. And 3, I think they also showed me at least what technology is really made for, right? So technology is not a disruptor, it's an enabler, right? It's supposed to help us actually achieve more. And if I was to actually take this to our industry, to the ad industry, then what we try to do as companies, platforms like YouTube, is try to help you, and in this case you would be the runner, achieve more than you have been able to achieve before, right? So our goal is really to enable you to go beyond what you had and what you would have been able to do previously. Now we are in the age of assistance today. This also means that technology comes into things like ad tech and wearables, right? So you can see there's a watch on my wrist, and this is not a normal watch, it's a running watch. It's also an Android watch. It measures everything that it possibly can from my wrist, and it also helps me measure my times, obviously, and helps my trainer understand how I'm doing when I'm training. But it also measures my sleeping habits, my rest, tells me how much time I need for rest, etc., etc. And this is a huge advancement, right? Because 5 years ago when I was running, I would actually have to have a phone, a watch, a chip on my foot to be able to understand how many steps I'm taking, what the cadence is, and how far I'm going. Probably earphones for music, which would be connected by a wire, which we don't need anymore today. And all of this happened because technology enables us to do this. Now, that means that what we really expect from technology today is that it actually helps us do and achieve things, right? However, as a consumer, we are a tough one today. We're tougher than we were before. Your traditional challenge in the past, even a couple of years ago, would have been reach. Because the device, the end device that would give you access to the consumer was limited. So I would have one TV set maybe at home that I would watch content on. I wouldn't have any other devices during the day. I would have a lot of white spaces when I wasn't doing anything. Maybe reading a newspaper when I was on the train or waiting for something. Today, that's changed. So your biggest challenge is not necessarily reach anymore, because you can actually get reach relatively easily and more cheaply. Attention is the big one. How do you actually cut through? How do you get attention of the consumer to listen to your message, to your communication? And that's a real challenge that we're facing. And that's the challenge that we are trying to help you with. And I hope that my talk today will show you how and what direction we'll go. Now, we have been used to actually ads interrupting our agenda for decades, right? We got used to the fact that when we watch TV, there's a cost, and that cost is an ad in between the show that we're watching. We have to get through it. We can do other things, but in general, it's an interruption. It's going to stop us, and then it's going to continue later. Then we moved on to maybe pay TV, and that has changed the way that we thought. Now, what we expect from technology today in running or in any other field, cars, clothing, you name it, is what we expect from it in ads as well. We expect technology to help us stop interrupting people and actually help them advance their agendas. Now, I do not agree with the statement that ads are something we don't like. I think we've learned to like them or not like and dislike them, even sometimes hate them, because they were ill-targeted, they weren't communicating something that was mentioned to me, and it disrupted everything else that I was doing. If we get to a state where ads are better targeted, personalized, more relevant, and they don't actually interrupt, but they help me, they're going to be really great source of information for you. And I will love ads if that happens. So that is the big picture that we're trying to achieve. We're trying to help our ads actually advance consumers' agendas and not interrupt. Now, this isn't going to be rocket science, and I think that you can logically deduce that when you're on your phone, I was supposed to bring my phone on stage, but I didn't, so I'll mark my phone. But when you're on your phone, you are more attentive than you would be when you're watching, for example, TV. Right? It's because it's a personal device, and because, as we say, every time you actually take it out of your pocket and you do something with it, it creates that what used to be called prime time, or you could call it just my time. Right? So we don't have something that's prime time anymore, because every time we take out the phone, we're looking at something, a piece of content that's really exciting to us. It's personal, it's for me, it's what I wanted to do. Hopefully it's not interrupting something else, it's actually advancing my agenda. That's why I wanted to take a look. So, attention on the mobile device is higher than it is on other devices. How do we improve that attention? Obviously, through relevance. So, if we are able to actually add a relevant piece of communication to the time when I'm consuming on a device that I'm attentive to, then obviously my attention goes even higher. So in this case, we did a research on ads on mobile, and we saw that for people, for most people, for 24% of people, relevance of the ad actually improves their ability to be attentive towards that ad. Right? So that means that if something is relevant to me, if the communication is something that I can actually benefit from, it can advance my agenda, it's highly likely, 3 times more likely, that I will be attentive to that message than any other message that you would send. That's huge. That's a really big change. And if we take advantage of that, obviously, that's going to really impact the communication that we have with clients. Now what's amazing also about YouTube as a platform is that it has high viewability. Globally we have, I think we actually published these stats last week or 2 weeks ago. We have a viewability rate of 96% and a audibility rate of 95%, so 95% of our ads are both audible and video. It's important because those two brought together actually have higher impact than just a visual ad without audio. In Spain, that number is slightly lower, it's at 94%, and the market average is at 70%. So we're super happy about this, we're excited. YouTube has a much higher viewability than any other platform, which is also important for the communication. Apart from this, because it's an intent platform, because it's a destination, because I come there to watch something I want to watch, it also has a 2x factor of attention versus other platforms, such as TV or social media. If I'm interrupted again doing something else on a social platform with a video, my attention is much lower than when I actually come to a platform to watch video and I get an ad before a piece of content. Now, all of those things lay the foundation for the potential impact that you can have with the communication, obviously. But how do we get to a state where we can really truly say that what we're doing is intention marketing, so that we're planning for attention through understanding people's intention, understanding what they want, understanding what they're in the market for? Am I going to be buying new shoes soon or not? Is it time for that? Or am I simply looking for a new running route when I'm in Madrid? What do I need? What's going to advance my agenda? Those are the big questions that we should be asking ourselves. And those are the big questions that we're trying to answer and help you take advantage of with our platform. So, in the beginning of the year, we did something huge. We did something we haven't done before, and that is we actually combined data from our biggest and most important intent platform that we have, which is Google Search, into our targeting mechanisms on YouTube. We call this constant affinity audiences, and what that meant is when you're targeting an ad on YouTube, you traditionally do it against some piece of content, maybe interests, maybe a demographic if you're still into demographics. You wouldn't really be able to actually overlay any type of intent signals previously. You wouldn't be able to use the YouTube search engine, but that would give you only intent around what we want to watch, rather than, for example, what we want to buy. Now, if you add to that intent signals from the search of what I'm looking for, and you understand that I'm watching videos about running, and then I'm actually looking for a pair of shoes for running, or looking for a new watch for running, that's really powerful. We launched this beginning of the year, and the clients that have used it have actually seen incredibly positive results. So they've seen 20% higher ad recall, 50% higher brand awareness on the campaigns that have actually used this intent-driven mechanism for targeting their ads. But that's not enough. Just understanding what people actually do in the moment specifically, so what I'm searching for now, isn't really enough to understand their full intent. So we're going forward. We just announced this last week, and I think you're probably the first other conference, apart from AdWeek New York, that is actually seeing this. We are expanding custom affinity audiences to other platforms that we own. So now you'll be able to go beyond just search, go into Android, go into the Play Store, and Macs, and take signals from all of those elements and put them together into a full intent story. So imagine that you know that I'm in Madrid because I was looking for a hotel. You know that I have Endomono on my phone, or I have Polar on my phone, the app. And then I'm looking for a running shop. Guess what? I'm probably here. I'm probably going to be running. Maybe I forgot my shoes. Or maybe I forgot something else that I really need that you could actually target me with. The big news about this also, and we mentioned this earlier, is that this isn't cookie-based anymore. So we've gone beyond cookies because of the fact that we're multi-screening, mostly mobile. So this is not a cookie-based option anymore. This is actually user-based. But targeting isn't really the only thing that you need to be able to be very effective, right? When I'm looking for a product, there are a couple of things that have to happen to make me really want to buy something, to get me to that final purchase step. Obviously, you need to find the right audience, so that's me. You need to define who you really want to be targeting, amazing insights that we just saw from Henry that you can use to be able to define who that audience is. Then you need to understand the context that audience is in. Not all of the audience, just specific users of that audience. So that's again me. Where am I? What state am I in? Am I a runner? Am I not a runner? And then understand my intent. What am I searching for? What am I doing on maps? What am I doing on Play? Do I have any apps on my phone? Putting all of those together is where you get the highest results. But advancing the ad agenda is not just about targeting, obviously. So that combination gives you a great way to communicate with me, but then you need to be more effective with the communication itself, with the message that you're sending. So this is the second part of what we've been really working on. And I'm going to show you 2 new products within that space that we've just developed recently and we launched again last week. The first one is around personalization at scale. So my YouTube is not your YouTube. Every one of us has their own YouTube. We watch different pieces of content, we have different creators that we love, we have different channels that we subscribe to, and we do it differently as well, in different places, at different times, on different devices. So how do we personalize at scale, which is the big buzzword of today? Well, one of the elements that is important is to personalize the communication as well, personalize the message. Now, we all know how expensive it is to actually create multiple creatives. So if you have a creative that's been done for a campaign, and you really want to take advantage of it, you want to make sure that it personalizes to the context it's around, to the user that it's going to be messaged to. We've just introduced what we call direct-to-mix, which is a platform within YouTube where you can upload your creative elements, your creative agency can upload an open video, and you can layer on top of that video communication through not creating it one by one, but actually through basically a spreadsheet of pieces of messaging that you want versus specific pieces of content that you want to be using. And in this way, what you can do is you can create within one campaign tens, hundreds, sometimes thousands, as we saw Campo Soup, for example, in Australia, do 1,700 variations of one piece of content that they did that would cater to a personalized piece of content that someone was actually watching on YouTube. I'm going to show you an example of how this works specifically on a McDonald's campaign in the US. They were introducing, which is pretty amazing to me, 3 sizes of the Big Mac. So we know the normal Big Mac, but they're introducing like a bigger Big Mac and a smaller Big Mac. And they needed a way to be more personalized in the communication and reach out to the consumer in the right context. So they created, I think it's over 100 different pieces of content using direct-to-mix, and then they launched a campaign which looked something like this. Or like this. You can see that the title of the video is different. So So the creative element is actually the same. What's changed is the comms around the context that it was in. Because I watched a different video the first time than I did the second time, I got a different piece of communication. And in the other example that I mentioned, Campbell Soup, they did 1,700 of these, and they not only were they able to actually pre-design for the campaign, so they basically looked at the most interesting, the most novel, the most trending pieces of content in multiple genres. They could go down to the level of actually a specific music star that you were watching and relate to that, or they could instantaneously, during the running of the campaign, add actually a new ad with a new piece of comms related to something that just happened. Your favorite team lost and you were just watching a recap of that match, and you just got an ad which was created 15 minutes earlier specifically around that piece of content. So we're adding this element of context into the array of tools that you have to be more effective. And this drives results. McDonald's had 2 times better ad recall simply because they used multiple creatives instead of using just one. So they tested this compared to the traditional creative that they would be doing, and they had a 2x improvement in the effectiveness. Now, the last part that I want to talk about is video ad sequencing. There's another very interesting new product that we launched last week, and that is the ability to actually sequence the ads in the way that you want to be able to tell the full story. So, coming back to our challenges with the attention, you might know, and I hope you do, that we have something called the bumper ad, which is a 6-second video ad. When we were originally creating that and introducing it, we had a lot of pushback from our advertisers. They were saying, and clients, they were saying, 6 seconds is just not enough. We can't really tell the full story in 6 seconds. It turned out that you can actually tell a full story in 6 seconds, and that the attention levels to the 6 seconds are so high that the ad recall and the brand awareness is actually higher for the 6 seconds than some much longer ads that were forced onto our users, because our users reject forced ads. Remember what I said about ads interrupting and then ads actually improving, driving your agenda. So in this case, what we did is said, if you're not really happy with the fact that you need to have just one 6 second, why don't you put multiple of them together? And why don't you actually create a sequence of communication, build a storyline out of those multiple elements? So you can use a longer ad, like a TrueView ad, or a reservation ad, a 15-second, to kick off the campaign, and then you can do multiple short bumper ads. Or you can kick off with a bumper ad, then have a longer ad, and then go with shorter ads again. So you can either seed with a shorter or seed with a longer, and then echo with shorter or longer ads. Which means that you can actually precisely define the order in which the ad will be shown to be able to get, for example, to the more detailed into the product or more into the story that you'd be showing. And obviously I have an example of this that I wanted to show you, which is for a game that was launched in the US a couple of months ago at the E3 conference, or I think it was a couple of months now ago. When they were launching this, what they did was they first introduced the long version of the video ad, which was a 2 minute, and then they added the 6 seconds sequencing into that. Now, what the results gave them, or what the impact of this was, that was on really multiple levels. Firstly, they actually had a much higher lift, almost 400%, in searches for the trailer. Right? So people who saw it for the first time maybe, and then were going into the bumper ads and watching the bumper ads, were searching for the full 2-minute trailer after that. They also had an organic lift in search for Assassin's Creed with this campaign, over 200%, and a plus 25% lift in awareness of the game actually existing. So the video ad sequencing allowed them to tell a compelling story using those small snippets, or as we call them, bites of communication, in the right way, in the way that they really wanted to, driving very high and effective results. So in closing, I wanted to say that when you think about the future of your communications and the future of the way that you advertise today, I'd really like you to think about technology as an enabler. We don't have any type of Armageddon coming. Technology is your friend in this, just as it is for me as a runner or Kipchuri as a runner. It's a friend for you as advertisers in your ad agenda today.